STEAM scholars, have you ever wondered how a parachute works? Would you like to know how to make a ball move without using your hands? Well, today's challenge projects are just for you. Let's continue to test out the 4 forces of aerodynamics: thrust, lift, weight, and drag by engineering our own parachute and floating ball. By the end of this project, you will become an aeronautical engineer, understanding the aerodynamic performance of aircraft. Let's create. For project 1, you will need a coffee filter, a small white cup, scissors, yarn, tape, a ruler, other cups to test, a chair or step stool, a pencil, your design thinking process notebook. Step 1, you are going to take out your design thinking process notebook and go over each letter in the design thinking process. A, ask, how can I create a parachute that represents the 4 forces of aerodynamics, especially drag? B, brainstorm, how can I use my materials to create a parachute? How can I make sure my parachute uses some or all of the forces of aerodynamics? C, collect, what information have I learned or know about aerodynamics and parachutes that will help me create? D, develop, what is the first step I need to make to create? E, evaluate, what works, what doesn't work, and what can I do to make my design better? F, fine tune, is my design where I want it to be? Are there any changes I need to make? A parachute is a device that slows down the person or object coming down from the air by the fabric attached, creating drag. In order for drag to occur in your parachute, do you think you should use something heavy or light when making your parachute? Take out your design thinking process notebook to sketch your parachute design using your materials. In my design, I'm using 2 strings of yarn, the coffee filter, and a small white cup. First, I'm going to cut 2 5-inch pieces of yarn. You can use any number of yarn you desire, as this is your project. So I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to measure 5 inches. And then I'm going to just take that other string and use it as my measurement. Now you are going to tape one end of your yarn where you would like onto your cup and the end of the string. Place it on the end of the strings first. Take my cup and place it. I'm going to place it on the inside of the cup. Again, this is your project, so you can place it on the outside of the cup if you would like. Now taking some more tape, place them on these ends of your yarn, and then you'll place your coffee filter and your yarn together. Now, for the fun part, let's test out our project. To test, you will need to be elevated on a step stool or chair. Disclaimer, be careful and have adult supervision when standing on top of a step stool or chair. Be extra careful if your chair has wheels. If you don't have elevation, no worries. You can raise your arm as high as you can and observe how the parachute falls. Neat! Write down or draw your observations. Remember to evaluate and fine-tune your project as needed. Test your parachute against other parachutes and regular cups. So I have regular cups here. We're going to test how they fall by themselves and then against the parachutes. So here is a small regular cup. Just fall straight down. Here's a bigger, larger. That just falls straight down. Now we're going to test it out with the parachute. Have a class or group discussion about what you think causes drag and why. Now, for this next project, we are going to test lift, thrust, and weight by engineering a device to create a floating ball. For project 2, you will need 2 sheets of foil, flexible straws, you'll just need 1, circle utensils, 1 sheet of paper, double-sided tape that we used from our previous project, scissors, a pencil, and your design thinking process notebook. Now you are going to take out your sheet of paper, look through the circle stencils, and decide which stencil you would like to use to create a cone-like shape for the foundation of your floating ball. I'm going to choose between these 4. I think I'm going to choose this one. Once you have your stencil, trace your circle on your sheet of paper. Cut out the circle you just traced. Once the circle is cut out, cut a slit about halfway into your circle. That's about good. If not, we'll evaluate and fine-tune. Next, you're going to make a cone shape by wrapping the 2 ends of your circle. These 2 ends, you're gonna wrap them like this into a cone shape and secure it with double-sided tape. So I'm actually gonna take this end and put tape on it. Cut off the excess and wrap. Place one more to secure this side. Now you are going to use your scissors to cut a small hole at the end of your cone for the short end of your flexible straw to go through. Okay, we made a slit. Now we're gonna test and see if it can fit. If you need to, I cut a little bit of my straw. I'm gonna pinch it so it can go through. Like that. If you need to, you can place tape around your straw and cone to make sure that there aren't any holes or gaps that air may escape from. You can test that out by blowing and testing your straw. If air is coming out anywhere besides your straw, you'll need to cover that up. Now, before we make our ball and test out our project, we are going to take out our design thinking process notebook and go over each letter in the design thinking process. A, ask, how can I make my ball float with the design I created? How can I make sure I created a design that uses lift, thrust, and weight? B, brainstorm, what kind of ball do I need to make sure my ball floats? C, collect, what information have I learned that will help me create? D, develop, what is the first step I need to make to create? E, evaluate, what works, what doesn't work, and what can I do to make my design better? F, fine tune, is my design where I want it to be? Are there any changes I need to make? After you have finished asking yourselves these questions, take time to look over your materials to figure out what you can use for a ball. We have some foil sheets. So if you guessed foil, way to go. You have 2 sheets of foil to design a ball you think will float. For testing purposes, create 2 different ball designs using your foil sheets. For my design, I'm going to make one tightly rolled ball like this, and one ball that has a little less foil, so I'm going to tear some foil off and lightly crumble it. Now place one of your foil balls in your cone and blow through your straw. Place it in the cone. It went too far. I do find it helpful if you place your ball right above the straw. And you'll also want to consider the size that you made your cone. Is it too big for your foil ball or too small? You'll need to test those things out. And now we can test our other foil ball. Again, it might be helpful to place it right above your straw. Ooh. Once you've finished, have a class discussion or a group discussion about your observations. Until next time, my engineers, never be afraid to make a mistake. Be great and keep exploring. Bye-bye.